All right, welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Today we're going to talk about a stock that I've actually had for several years. Traded it pretty good in 2018. This name of the stock is NVAX, ticker NVAX. This is a pharmaceutical stock. It's a very high risk stock. Get entry on this one. Like I said, I traded it back in 2018 pretty good. Actually got out on close to a high. Watched it drop back down the end of 18 and started buying in again in 2019. Um, they at the time they had an ongoing phase 3 test for an RSV drug that they're trying to get to market. This phase 3 test didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to. Some of the endpoints on the test was not met, and the stock tanked. I mean, the price went down. I think it was about 250 a share, and then it went down to eventually as low as 70 cents a share. I think in that day it was about half price, um, but it continued to go down. And to make matters worse on this stock, they actually ended up doing once it got under $1, they've got ended up doing a 20-to-1 reverse split. So what that means is if you had bought that stock around that $2 mark, the point at which you would get even today would be a $40 stock. If you're holding it and that's all you bought, then you've got a long ways to go on this stock. Uh, if you believe in a stock, the proper thing to do once it drops, if you still believe in that stock, um, you want to cost average down on something like that. Now, this is a tough one to cost average down on because it is a pharmaceutical and they are high risk. But I have cost average down on this one. I'm not close to even yet, but I just want to show you this stock. Just take a look at what happened on Friday. Um, the stock price was 574. It was actually up 20% for the day. It's a pretty good day in the market when it goes up 20%. It actually kept going up in the after hours. Went up another 10% and just kept going. High volume on the after hours, 250,000 shares traded. Uh, the Just talk about the volume a little bit. The average volume on this thing is 1.395 million. You see here, bottom of the screen, 1.395 million. Um, that's a pretty good average. I like that kind of average. I like anything over a million shares a day. That's just my preference. But look at the number of shares traded on Friday. There were 9,500,000 shares traded. That's a lot of shares. It's 9 times the average almost. And when you see that happening, uh, I always refer to that as the big boys are getting involved. And the big boys, I refer to those people are the hedge funds, the institutions, you name it. People that are not like us. They're not retail investors. There's a lot of retail investors that get something like that happens, but that's not what's driving that volume up. And I'll show you here. Let's look at a 5-day chart on this thing. You see here Monday through Tuesday, this thing's pretty level. The volumes, if you look at the volumes at the bottom here, they're pretty steady. But you see this big spike in volume here on Wednesday morning. That's when some news came out about a fast track uh, from the FDA on this current phase 3 that they're running a drug that's called nanoflu. Uh, so the fast path is to get that drug to market if it passes this phase 3 and they're able to get it through the FDA approval process. But it is a fast path to get through that. So that's big news for this stock, even though we don't have the results of the test back yet. The phase 2 were really good as far as the test goes, but now we're leading to the phase 3. You got to get through that one. That's the tough one. So we're going to look at that, see how it jumped up that in that high volume, and then it just plateaued out for the rest of the day. The next day, Thursday, went up again, plateaued out, and then Friday it really had a strong day here. You see it going straight up, and then it did pull back a little bit there. That's usually you'll see that happen. That's people taking profit when you've got one that's jumped from 388 to what was that? That was probably 527 in a matter of days. A lot of folks that are going to take profits on that, and you can't blame them for that. And we see that after the profit taking took place, it still kept going, and it actually closed way up there close to the high for the day. And like I said, in the after hours, it kept on going. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch this one close tomorrow when the market opens Tuesday. I expect there's going to be a lot of anticipation on this one. A lot of folks wanting to get in on this one. Watch the pre-market. I'm gonna bet that that's going to be up as well as the opening. So we're going to watch that at the open and pre-market. Watch for it to jump. This is one $5.74. Probably going to be about $6 and something tomorrow at some point. And but as it gets back down to this level here, you may think about getting in. Or what I would do is wait and see if you get a plateau. Watch that plateau. If it settles down and just plateaus across for a few hours at least. And if you want to dip your toes in with this one, remember this is high risk, very high risk. That news could come out any day on that phase 3 test. If it does, if it's bad news, you're going to lose half your investment probably in a day. But if it's good news, you could see something like this go up tremendously. We're not sure exactly where the top is, since there's a lot of folks in at that $40 level. It may be a quick run up to some number there. We're not sure where it's going to go, but never are. But just keep your eyes open on this one. That's going to be fun to watch Tuesday. We'll get back together sometime later in the week and talk about some stocks. But just kind of keep your eye on this one. If you want to dip your toes, it'll be a fun one. It's risky, but it would be fun. I can assure you that. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about the channel. We're just getting started here. And as you can tell, I'm no professional. This is just a trader. I've been trading for 21 years and just want to talk to people that like to trade. And so we'll see you sometime next towards the end of the week, and we'll talk some more about the market and some stocks. In the meantime, happy trading to you. Have a great rest of your week.